What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kangaroo Black coming back once again because I got some questions that need to be answered. So somebody out there in YouTube land, please help me out by giving me some answers. How is it that my Alabama Crimson Tide has the #1 recruiting class in the SEC and the #2 recruiting class in the nation for 2025 with no Nick Saban? Please let me know, because all I've been hearing is Alabama's recruiting is going to fall off with no Nick Saban. All I've been hearing is Alabama is done. Rome is falling. The dynasty is dead. That's all I've been hearing. I know my Alabama Crimson Tide haven't won a national championship in 3 years. All right. But guess what? Damn near every program in the SEC but two haven't won a national championship in 3 years. And guess what? The two that has won national championships in the past 3 years, how long did it take them? 40 years? 30 years? 50 years? How long did it take them? How long did it take them? Alabama is held to a higher standard than anybody else. And guess what? You already holding Coach Kalen DeBoer to a higher standard than any other coach in all of college football, simply because he's at the University of Alabama. Everybody is already holding Coach Kalen DeBoer to Nick Saban's standard. That's what they are doing. They already wrote Alabama off as far as recruiting and basically as a football program. So somebody tell me, how is it that Coach Kalen DeBoer can come all the way from the West Coast down south and have the #1 recruiting class in the SEC and the #2 recruiting class in the nation? How is it that Coach Kalen DeBoer can come all the way from the West Coast down south and out recruit every coach in the SEC? How is it that Coach Kalen DeBoer can come all the way from the West Coast and put together a staff to out recruit every other head coach and his staff in the SEC that has already been in place for 5, 6, 7, 10 years? How is it that Coach Kalen DeBoer has done that? Coach Kalen DeBoer has only been on the job for like 5.5 months and already recruiting the South better than any head coach and his staff that has already been in the SEC for years. 5.5 months. How is he doing it? Please let me know. Could it be NIL? Well, just 3-4 months ago, I was told that Alabama couldn't keep up with NIL. They don't have the money. That's what I was told. I don't know. Or could it be that Coach Kalen DeBoer, Courtney Morgan, Nick Sheridan, Kane Womack, Alabama football staff came in and just hit the recruiting trail, off and running all over the United States? And I told y'all when they hired Coach Kalen DeBoer, this was a good thing for the University of Alabama as far as recruiting. Because guess what? Coach Kalen DeBoer got ties all over the West Coast. Him, Nick Sheridan, Courtney Morgan, general manager, all over. And guess what? Robert Gillespie, Freddie Roach, Kane Womack got ties all over the South. But no, when old Kangaroo Black tell you something, you don't want to listen. You want to troll him. But it always come to be true what old Kangaroo Black tell you. It always. Come on now. NIL. We don't have the money, or Alabama don't have the money. You've been proven wrong once again. Coach Kalen DeBoer can't recruit the South. You've been wrong again. Shit, he out here recruiting the South better than your coaches or staff if you ain't an Alabama fan. Get off Coach Kalen DeBoer's case. Because just like me, OKB, Coach Kalen DeBoer continues to prove you wrong. If you're not an Alabama fan, and if you're against my Alabama Crimson Tide. It is crazy, man. It's crazy. No Nick Saban. Still got a top 3 class. And for Alabama to have a top 3 recruiting class right now in the off season or this point of the recruiting season, just 2 months ago, that was preposterous. With no Nick Saban. Can you believe it? No Nick Saban. Number 1 in the SEC, number 2 in the nation. Get it right. And guess what? We sitting at number 2 in the nation, number 1 in the SEC, and don't even have a 5-star yet. But they coming. Be patient. Be patient. They coming. Don't be surprised. At the end of it all, my Alabama Crimson Tide sitting at number 1 in the nation in recruiting for 2025. Don't be surprised, because those 5 stars are coming. Be patient. Be patient. So you can look, laugh, point, troll, do what you will. While Kane Womack, Nick Sheridan, Courtney Morgan, Coach Kalen DeBoer, and everybody else on the staff is out on the recruiting trail putting in work. Putting in more work than your staff. How is it that Coach Kalen DeBoer can come all the way from the West Coast, down south, cross country, and out recruit Hugh Freeze, Mark Stoops, Kirby Smart, Lane Kiffin, Eli Drinkwitz? How can he do this? How can he do this? And don't let me forget Josh Heupel. How did Coach Kalen DeBoer come all the way from the West Coast down south and do what he doing on the recruiting trail? Please let me know, because I have the slightest idea. I have the slightest idea. I don't have the answer to none of those questions. But if you're not an Alabama fan and you say Alabama is falling off, please answer these questions for me. If you say Alabama recruiting is done, please answer the question for me. If you said Alabama, oh, they ain't gonna get number 3 stars, whatever. If you said that, answer that for me. But like I said the other day, it ain't the stars, it's the heart. That's all. It ain't the stars. But if you said all those things, please answer every question that I just asked. But you can't, because you know you was wrong. And you know Coach Kalen DeBoer came down to the SEC and did something half of the college football fan base thought that he couldn't do. And now you simply is going to move the bar. That's what you're going to do. You're going to move the bar. Well, now you're going to say, well, he got to develop them now. And when he do that, then you're going to say, well, it's got to translate on the field. You're going to say that. And then what that do, now, oh, he ain't doing it like Nick Saban did it. You're just going to keep moving it. You're going to hold, well, you already doing this. You're holding Coach Kalen DeBoer to Nick Saban's standard. That's what you're doing. Because you're already talking about he's no Nick Saban, and which he's not. He don't got to be Nick Saban. He's only got to be Coach Kalen DeBoer. That's all he got to do. And keep winning like he always done. That's what I'm saying. Nobody said when Brian Kelly went to LSU, well, he can't recruit the South. Nobody said that. Nobody, man. Come on. And he never coached in the SEC. Brian Kelly didn't until he got to the SEC. Just like Nick Saban never coached in the SEC until he came to the SEC. Come on, y'all. Stop it. All of this ridicule is going on as far as Coach Kalen DeBoer only because he took over the job at the University of Alabama. That is it. He could have went anywhere else in the SEC. Nothing would have been said. You even gave him a name, Husky Harsin. Well, Husky Harsin out recruiting your coach and his staff. Whoever or whatever team you support, Husky Harsin, as y'all want to call him, or whatever you call him, he's out recruiting everybody in the SEC. That's all I know. Getting some of the best recruits all around the country. That's what I know. But guess what? We got 18 recruits now. 11 of them is from the South. But Coach Kalen DeBoer couldn't recruit the South. This man got more commits from the South than more than half of the current SEC teams. But 2-3 months ago, he couldn't recruit the South. That's all I know. You holding my coach, Coach Kalen DeBoer, to a higher standard than the standard you holding your own coach to. You holding the Alabama Crimson Tide to a higher standard than you holding your own football team to. How is it? You should want your team to be better than everybody else. So you should hold your team to a higher standard than everybody else. Just like me, KB, and every other Alabama fan hold Alabama to a higher standard than everybody else. But the difference is my Alabama Crimson Tide meet the standard, the highest standard. And your program is failing at it. At least is failing to live up to the standard that my Alabama Crimson Tide lives up to. Alabama is the only team that you can say, well, they done fell off because they ain't won a national championship in 3 years. When you got teams out here ain't won a national championship in 20, 30, 40, 50 years, but you want to set Alabama to a 3-year mark. Come on, guys. Is it really that serious? 3 years? But hey, it is what it is, man. Alabama done fell off because they ain't won a national championship in 3 years. Oh, man. It is what it is, though. But can anybody please answer the questions that I asked? I don't need to repeat them. Because guess what? My questions was prompted from a lot of fans' statements about my Alabama Crimson Tide. So if you made the statement, you should know the question and you should have an answer. But I'm quite sure you don't have an answer. But hey, it's all good. Keep doubting. Keep hating. Keep being a naysayer. And keep being a non-believer. And my Alabama Crimson Tide and Coach Kalen DeBoer will continue to prove you wrong. And remember, be blessed. And I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. And roll damn Tide.